Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. So welcome to 192 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. I will tell you that the market at the global scene is extending its oscillation or what I call volatility or missentiment. Tell you that market is being triggered up and down by what either news or expectation or feelings, psychology, perception of what of investors across the globe. As we speak now, we can see that the market started this week on a strong note across the globe, but in between that Monday and yesterday, we saw that yesterday market also early in the morning as at this hour, international market was down, awaiting this, the speech of the chairman of Fed and others and other governors that are from different central banks of the world, in the ongoing symposium on central bank independence. This but along the line, as market is also looking towards what the economic data, you can see the importance of this economic data or news, how they influence what the policy makers or economic managers of different domain. But as we speak now, all eyes are what on Fed on US consumer price index tomorrow. And if you look at the history of US market, whenever this report is released for the last almost three past months, we have seen that whenever really market as the inflation slowed down, market will always gain that day. In response, that expecting that Fed will also move that direction to start slowing their aggressiveness in terms of rate hike, which we have seen in the last rate that it just slow down a little, just like as we have done here in November. But the good thing again is that as all eyes are on this Fed also US economic data, also I tell you that market across the globe also are also looking at what, saying that the quarterly result we are looking for end of the year or corporate quarterly result or full year, what you call it, are about hitting the market. On this expectation, investors are expecting also designing all those quarterly corporate earnings of many companies in that domain that are hitting the market there. As also we are looking up here in this side of the world, in our market here, to start seeing on the third account of many companies that had December as year end in this month. That started also already in this mature the market, and that's also supporting what the market firming up this morning. As we speak, I'll tell you that the global market has opened on a strong green this morning. What is happening in US this morning? Market and all the indices there are in green. The Dow Jones, S&P, and Nasdaq, they are all in green this morning. If you look to European market also as we speak, I'll tell you all across are in green. Look at in Germany, market has opened higher. In France and all those we can see in UK, they're all what in green this morning. It's a good one. And if you look at the Asian market also fine. I tell you yesterday that Asian market has already entered what we call a bull market, because if you look at what has happened between the October dip and what is happening today in that market, it has become more than 20%. That confirms that market is a bullish market now. This morning, as oil price also rebounded, it has been a plus to this market across the globe, which also but the African market are not no are not left behind. African market is missed now, and if you look at NGS down here in Nigeria, our market is also in green at this moment, which is a plus for what? A plus for us as we speak now. For me, it's a good one for the market. Yes, we have seen the oscillation in our market recently, but that is that different thing is happening, which we're going to discuss as we go into what into the discussion. But this we're going to we're seeing what is happening globally. For me, it's a good one for the market. Oil price as we speak now it has come back above above what $80, which is also a good one for investors, and also those that like us Nigeria, that our major source of revenue is this oil exchange. Once we start seeing up, and now we have improved our production, we still are going to also impact our reserve, and also that will also help the CBN and the team to manage what to manage our reserve and also the exchange market. But this is a boost for the market. The sentiment now in the market for me is set by these factors I just mentioned. The earnings that are hitting the market, the expected the economic data, and at the same time the oil price also rebounding above $80, despite the fear of recession, and also increasing increasing inventory in some of the markets, especially in US. These are the things that also influencing oil price. For me, I believe that we investors in the market down here should not panic because we are seeing that oil price has rebounded. Not only that, we are in the midst of any season. Yes, we can see that the electionary activities has increased on a high tempo now. We are hearing from different things from different gladiator in the in the political scene, but it tells you that Nigeria is going somewhere. But I believe that this reset or policy shift we're expecting to come from all these activities will have a way of shaping our market for good. And for you as an investor, you must take advantage of it. That's why I say today we must discuss or discussing on what on tools you need to invest profitably in this market. We'll come to that now. Look at those tools that is needed for you to plan your trade. Ideally, for any trader to really make money in the stock market, you must have what a plan. And that plan, like I always say, that before you step, you venture into any investment, in any windows you are invested, that you are investing in a stock market, you are investing in what in a currency, you are investing in what in commodity, you are investing in different assets. You must understand that these assets you are getting, their price changes, and because the price changes, you are focus your attention on what on that price that changes to see how you can take advantage of that price, because that is what will create a wealth for you. And that means whenever you are taking your decision, as you are setting your goal, you want to buy right. Also, you are putting your surplus along with your goal. I emphasize on this on 8 class. So I tell you that how important this are to all of us that are trading. Whether you're a short-term trader or you're a long-term investor, these are what will guide you. Once you have a goal, your goal will also keep you in that direction to attain what a purpose and also achieve your set goal. Once you're able to put it in order and you follow it, I will tell you it will go a long way in guiding you to arrive at your destiny is what get making profit and also preserving your capital. Yes, in looking at the tools you need to invest successfully in the market, one thing that is very, very important is that as investors or trader, looking at the market price alone with your naked eyes or no, with your eyes is not enough for you to inform. You must understand what is the sentiment behind this price you are seeing. And for you to understand that, that is why you need what I've said about plan already. That means you need what we call technical analysis software or tools. You need it because every doctor you go to see anywhere, they don't just see your face and go, they use tools to check what is wrong with you. And that means for you to also take advantage of the market and to be successful in trading or investing, you must have what you use also to look at the market. Yes, there are some sites or some that where there some of these tools are put on their site to use. But at times it's not enough to guide you. That is why you need to have what a software install your own laptop or your phone that you can use also to chat. Another thing is that it's not just installing the software. You must understand how to use the software. That means you must learn the how, and how to use it all to make money. It's one thing to have tools. You can have tools, and keep it one place. It's not making anything. But when you use your tools effectively, and use it to other things that is necessary in that domain where you're operating, see that you become a master of the game because what you have understand what the movement of the market or the dynamics of the market you are playing. As you can see that I've mentioned that the first thing that you have a plan, and that plan that you plan your trade in advance with your trading tools. You can see where you're planning your trade in advance with what your trading tools. You can see, and as I said again here, your chart is very, very important, and this chart is very important because chart is very important. That's why you need what the chart software, and that software. After having it, the next thing again is for you to learn. And I believe that those that are following us in this platform and other of our classes, you know how I use this class, and others that were invited to you how to use this chart. For you to really maximize this, you must have it on your system, or so that you can go back there and use it also to build your own strategy. Because I use to pick stock, others use to pick because they understand it. Once you are also learning from us, also learning from any whoever learning, and also able to build strategy, that is why you can now have a strategy to trade your as you are making money. That strategy, you improve on it. Before you know it, it becomes what a model for you, which you can always use to whether you are sleeping. This is how to also to trade. These are the tools you need. Another thing that understanding when understanding these tools, there are major things that are very, very important and vital in understanding the tool. One, understand why trend, volume, and pattern is your friend. Most people say trend is your friend. I agree with them, but volume is your friend, and also pattern is your friend. If you understand how to use trend in trading, you will know where the market is going, where the stock is going, you understand that that trend will help you. The volume that supports or the market movement is very, very key, and the pattern. Because if you understand how to read chart alone, that is the price action, because it's the price action that will form what the chart, they will form the pattern. Also, the volume that is following that price action is very key, and the direction is good. That is the trend. If you want to understand these three things, I say these three things are your friend in in technical analysis. In analyzing stock, you need to understand them because you are already know company's fundamental, and these fundamental don't change until every quarter when they come with their earnings, and whether they are coming to a new product, or when they are either acquiring or margin, or somebody is divesting or somebody is taking over. These are will come, and when it comes to understand, but you need to see the reaction of people when all these news filter to the market, and that is what your chart will help you to know, and that is why it is necessary for you to understand how to use your chart. Once you're able to do that, you are good to go. Another thing is very, very important for every investor to know that you must also do it yourself. Do it yourself. This era, especially this year, how I started the first class in this week, that you must have what plan. And how to plan? You must have the tools. And also I say you must do it yourself again. You do yourself that as you are finishing from this class, that you go back again and see how what we have discussed, how you can also make use of it. Then you can now ask questions. And luckily for people that are following us, most of these materials are already in our site where you can read up, and this for how to use all these indicators, all this chart, all this volume, trend, and what pattern to make information, and how we always say that trend repeat itself. Because that is why we have the pattern. Because that is why you see volume that we know. These are the things they have the trend. These are the things that you need to know when you are trading. Once you're able to master this is what you need also to to start this year. You need it to. That's why I'm encouraging you. If you are in this class, get your software, your charting software. This charting tools is very, very important because it will go a long way to let you can see the oscillation across the globe. That means if you understand to use the chart here, you can use anywhere in the world. What is happening across the globe? Their chart is telling you. If you go to online, you see what is happening in the US market live now. That's why we're using this term as live chart to see what is happening in our own market down here. If you understand it, you will not be left in the dark, because you know when to act, because you are combining your fundamental and your technical, because factors are shaping the market in the new year is not far from what we saw in 2022. That means the better you understand how to use chart and follow the trend, because this volatility we are seeing is what will create wealth for us. And as we're looking ahead to see the inflation figure for December, which I've said earlier, we're looking to see the Q4 unaudited account. And also, some companies are ready to also give corporate action this first month. There are companies that are peculiar, that they do the result early. We call them early filers, that start coming from the last week of January to early February to start keeping on the result. For me, this is time for you to start looking at which are these stocks, what's expected to them, and that also help you, to take action. And I believe that for those that are in this class that also want to take advantage of how to trade earnings in this volatile market and uncertain market environment, you have to also join us at the coming Q&A section. We're having a guest that is going to do justice on that for good 30 minutes, 25 minutes, and 5 minutes for question and answer on that question and answer. So you going to also recommend stock, because now it's either you are a trader or you are an investor, or you are a dividend income investor. Those dividend stock that we have seen that yes, they're likely to pay, they're likely to grow their dividend, and those that are likely to also to cut their dividend will also be discussed in that class. And also those that are also to give you capital appreciation. Also if you are in those stock, when they recommend, when they mention it, you also know. This is why you should also be in such forum where you see experts that also help you to speak stock with ease. Like I said in this class on Monday, the nice stock that we'll say that they are on a bullish base, they are taking off gradually, and they are making little uptrend. I mean, that is how to invest. Once you notice all this stuff, you go position on them ahead of what will also another force that will put this stock. But that's why every investment is again in the future, and once you understand it, you are good to go with that trend. Yes, on this note now, we'll now come back to the market, what is happening in the market live. I will tell you as we speak. If you look at our market here, like I mentioned earlier, that our market is in green. Good thing is that the market is still in that position at this hour. Yesterday, market opened on the green at this hour, so that it can pull back because of Ether. But this morning, market is already in green, and that green is being sustained to this level, and it's almost recovering what the market lost yesterday by this hour. It tells that this is a good thing for the market. Market, as we speak now, is trading at 51,687.94. Market is up by 241.34 point, which is about 0.5% up which is good for me. It's a good news for the market. What the market launched yesterday, this morning market are rebounded powerfully, and I can tell you that this time Airtel has not moved, and also as we speak now, Airtel have also notified the exchange about what about the word corporate action. This morning, more companies are also continue to notify exchange of their close period and board meeting for what for their quarter result and what end of the year. It tells you that these are the trends we see between now and end of March. It tells that these are the things that are going to shape the market. The more we see this, corporate action coming, the more market will also change. That's why we expect to see more liquidity, more buying power, and at the same time, more uptrend in terms of money flow. But there's also expect surprises and disappointment and any season. But those companies that also surprise you, expect that market will also favor them. Those that also disappoint, market will also treat them as the number comes to the market. But as I was saying, the market is up, and I can tell you that the market is also maintaining a positive market breadth. When I mean market breadth, we've seen that the advancer and the decliner line are in green. What I mean in green, gainers are more than what the decliner. That means we're having a 7 gainers against what 5 losers at this moment. Then you can see the top gainers. And let me start with the top gainers this hour. We're seeing Mutual Benefit leading the pack, followed by Lasaco. You can see Dangote, Boa Cement. You can also see FTM Cocoa and what Sterling Bank in that category. Then you can also see Access Bank. There are more. Like I said, there are 7. These are the top 5 now. If you look to the decliners the chart, you can see that Royal Exchange is leading, followed by Correlation, which is the former Wapik Insurance. You can see R2 Bisco in a decline, Japan decline, and also you can see GTB in that decline. But GTB is marginal, just losing about 0.6, down by what 15 kobo. You can see these stocks, more of them are penny stock, but only GTB is one of the high cap in that or blue chip company in that decline chart. On the other side, looking at the stocks in volume that would have traded good volume this morning, you can see the life of First Bank, and you ask yourself what is happening in First Bank. We are seeing positive volume, and the price have remained above 11 naira. Then that something good is happening in FBN holding. I can see this morning again is leading the activity chart with 71.2 million shares traded at this hour, followed by Boa Cement. Boa Cement also trading about 11.24 million shares at 99.70. Tell you this stock is also making a higher high. I'll tell you, don't like what we're seeing in UCAP. This stock is heading to 100 naira already as we speak. You can see, I told you earlier that the rumor of bonus, since they didn't kind of cancel their on this year, and the whole thing will come and end this 31st of December 2022, and now they've not announced. That means they are likely to convert that on this year to bonus. But I tell you, it has also have its own slack on it. If you are increasing your share in issue and your earnings or your profitability is not going that proportion, you're going to dilute your earnings. And for a stock that is almost 100 naira, if after adding on the additional shares and the earnings do not support it, I'll tell you, don't be surprised. You might see the price go down. What can easily support it again is just like the shareholding structure, because you know that this stocks in few hands. As it goes up, it might not likely to go down because the volume to change the price down might not be there. But I believe that additional share will also create more volume. But let's see how it goes. But as investor, if you are looking for dividend stock, you should know where you should be. That's why you need to be in that Q&A Friday, where you will be learning how to trade any season in a volatile market and in a volatile and uncertain market environment. You need to be there to take advantage of information to be shared. That then we see also among the top volume is the Access Corp doing about 7.3.6 million shares, GT Code 5.5 million shares, and Zenith Bank 3.48 million shares. And this is also good. These are the blue chip stocks dominating. You can see, and I give you said that investors are really taking advantage of this blue chip stock because they are consistent in dividend payment, and that is why they are looking the way of this stock. Yes, because of our time, let's quickly look at the chart now, the live chart as we speak. Yes, look at this stock that I just mentioned now. But let's first of all look at the chart and see. I will tell you that looking at this chart, let's call up our indicators for discussion today. I'm going to use our polygon band today to see some things for ourselves. It's good I call it up. Then also we're going to use the money flow index, money flow chart here. Go to put it. And don't forget our what? Our T line. Our T line today, because we are seeing okay, our T line remain blue line because already right red line is for 20 days moving average for the Bollinger Band. That means our T line remain, but we have to change our T line to what? To 8 what? 8 days. Okay, then finally we're calling up our MACD this time. We're using MACD this time for us to look at something that is happening in the market. Good. You can see now that if you look at the market is in green this morning. You can look at it here. You can see it here. Oh, there's a line here. I want to open that line, so let's make it bold so that I'll explain something to you before we come back there again. You can see at this point, market is forming what we call a topping in technical analysis. And I mean topping as market is recovering from what? From the high, from recovering from the high it touched before pulling back, heading to that high again. Market have touched about 54 thousand mark, in terms of index. Now pulling back to around almost 43 before the button. As it's coming up, what we call if you use the what we call a Fibonacci retracement, you can see that market is breaking out more retracement Fibonacci up. That means market is already above 61.8 Fibonacci percent. It tells you the market is heading somewhere. But at the end, the market is also forming top, and that's why we are seeing market will up down. If you look at the market where it is at this point now, which I quickly want to take you, can see at this point where we are, this is where my cursor is now. You can see here the market is trying to is forming a strong resistance or around this 50 51,800 or 814, 815. That have been the resistance level now until break it out to also break out at 52,000 before another trend will also continue. But at this point now you can see that this is where the market is also forming the topping pattern we're seeing. And that is that when you see a topping pattern in a stock or the market, it's a sign that either there will be pullback or there will be continuation, depending on what market forces. But don't forget that this market also has also formed what we call a V shape. If you look at here down, also what we call a couple and handle, in technical analysis, tells you that there is room for what for uptrend. And as you can see that today we saw the line for board gaining. If that we see also Dangote and Airtel rebound now that they have also notified the market. That means before the end of this month, we're likely to see Airtel result, and also likely to see MTN result. These are the things that will shape the market this month. And the more you see them and this high cap stock that have not moved, you can see also where Nestle is today. If they move, market support surpassing the 57, 54,000. It tested before pulling back. It's high. The possibility is very high. That's why we need to keep our eyes in the market as we speak now, because this is what we should do as an investor instead of us panicking. But the good thing is that as the market is trying to look up, we're noticing that money flow is also trying to make a flat move around this 82. That's what it closed yesterday. This morning, you can see that money flow is also reading around that 82, 82 basic points, which is equally will still a strong one. And one thing I want to look at, the MACD. If you look at MACD here, I'll tell you that MACD is also already giving a sign of weakness that MACD must soon go bearish. But we look at this blue line trying to closing up, and also the histogram, MACD histogram is also declining. It's a sign to show you that either the end of this trend is here or the end of this moment. But because we know the factors surrounding this moment, that's why I'm saying that what we saw is just because of set down in Airtel. Market will more likely also. If you look at also the Bollinger Band I just show you, you can see that at this point you saw that market there was a less activities there, it tightened up here. You can notice here. But at this point now, it has opened up wide. Even at this point, when it comes to the market, that means it's a sign that we're seeing improved activities here, going to the future. And that also gives you a sign where its market is going. Trading above the T line, also pulling above the 20 days moving average, because that is the red line on the polygon band. For me, it tells that the market is very strong. And MACD is still bullish. That's why that it's a sign that there's a declining sign to say the end of the bull, is around. But I said we need to also understand using your momentum indicator. As I've shown you yesterday that the momentum is still very, very strong behind this movement. But we need to also look at MACD. MACD, despite being a form of a lag indicator, but also giving you a clue what is about to happen. But because market is still trading above the T line, that's why there's no cause for alarm at this point. Just keep your finger crossed and watch with what with careful and know when to take profit. Don't be carried away with the upside market, but know how to also catch out your profit at the right time. This is what you need to do at this time. For those that also want to take advantage of the price of stocks that are going to pay good dividend, stocks that are going to pay good dividend, and do their price also pull back, and there's opportunity for you to rebound. You don't also join the Q&A class on Saturday by God grace so that you can get all these details. But for any of that, you can also call, also send the SMS or WhatsApp to any of our lines so that we can give you, the stock you need it to enter immediately as the market is also ongoing now. But I can see some also good signal on some stocks that are also moving from the base I told you earlier on Monday, and those are stocks that are still making uptrend. They are also on that range for you to buy. Since that they are still remaining their buy rate, you need to also take advantage of those stock now and also and act, because I told you that time is very, very important when you are analyzing stock and also when you take action. Price and time is very, very important in the equity analysis. You can see what I've just said now on this market. Our market is still very, very strong. For me, there's no cause for alarm. Yes, let's look at yesterday. We'll quickly look at the FBN head yesterday, but let's quickly look at it again this morning, because this is a live market, to see what is happening there, because we are seeing the trend is changing. Yes, you can see that it's still above the T line. Yes, on a day chart above the T line. That's why we are seeing a sign of also profit taking, weak sign already. You can see it here, but almost slightly above the T line and also above the 20 days moving average. You can see like profit taking has also come on that store this hour on the daily chart, but we want to look at it on 1 hour chart, because this is a day chart, to know exactly what is happening in the stock. On the day chart, in the last 1 hour, sorry, on the 1 hour chart, the stock is becoming green now. Money flow is also trying to flame up, to firm up, and why MACD is still also bullish on the stock as we speak now. Still, let's keep our finger crossed for FBN holding. Next again, how far will this boa cement go? Let's also look at this trend on boa cement. Yes, you can see on 1 hour chart, in the last 2 hours, you can see that the stock remained in green. That touched almost 100 naira, tested that 100 naira before selling at this price. You can see it here for the stock. On the 1 hour chart, it remains strong. MACD is also bullish, but let's look at the day chart for the stock. On the day chart, you can see that it's surprising on the day chart that tested almost that price, but now as we speak now, it's also trading below the T line, even after touching that 99.478. But good thing is, that the momentum is also slowing down. After this widening, you can see that the Bolivar guard is also slowing down at this point. That means another a breakout to expand is when either another news come that for dividend or the bonus might see. But as I speak now, the stock is, even though it's going up, I'll tell you that MACD is already bearish. I can see that yes, momentum, money flow is still looking up, around 100, which is good. But it also, for those that are in profit in this stock, I think nothing stop you from taking profit at this point from this position. Quickly, let's look at the Access Corp and UCAP. Let's look at them before we call it a day. We need to look at what is happening. Access Corp that tested almost 960, on Monday. As we speak now, it has come. It just gaining like 10 kobo at this hour. But if you look at the a day chart for this stock, for me, it's a good one. Still trading now on top on almost close to the upper polygon line band, which is also good. Strong one, can see that it's to speak now. It's above the T line. You can see it yourself, the blue line there above the spread, which is 20 days moving average of polygon band. And money flow is still below 50, but good at 41, looking up. And MACD is strongly bullish on a daily chart. We'll quickly look at what is 1 hour chart saying about this stock. On the 1 hour chart, it's still above the T line. For me, it's a good one. Money flow leading around a 69, good one and up. And MACD is also coming up powerfully to see. Yes, you can see that if you look at this histogram here, it's coming up now to confirm a bullish trend. That means those in access also keep your finger crossed for access also. Let's quickly look at final one. Let's look at what is happening in in let's look at what is happening in UCAP, but I would love to see Sterling Bank. We see Sterling Bank trying to pick up today. But let me look at Sterling Bank before we go to what is happening in what is happening in Sterling Bank. What is happening in Sterling Bank. What is happening in Sterling Bank. Sterling Bank. Okay, Sterling Bank is not coming up. Let's look at UCAP. UCAP for quality because of our time. UCAP is also making a higher high, hitting a 15 naira. Just the way Basment also making a new high. But here on the 1 hour chart, you can see that for like profit taking activities, you can see that it has crossed below the T line now down. You can see it here, but still around around the 14 naira 88 kobo as to speak now. Let's keep our finger, but I can tell you, MACD is also giving a sign that that the rally is over. Because as it's coming down, it's almost confirmed here. A bearish signal already for UCAP on the 1 hour chart. But let's look at the day chart, what it's saying. But at the 1 hour chart, tell us what it's profit taking. Well, you can see on the day chart, the stock is now coming down, but I've not touched the T line, but it's a good one. But I've not touched, but you can see that I will tell you that when you see that the price, the candlestick is far from the T line, you can see at this time as at Monday when you touch the 15 naira, I see people also cutting on that. People have entered the stock around 9 naira, 10 naira. At 15 naira, that is almost 50% cashing out. We're not surprised. You can see that there's a slowdown momentum in the cap now. Despite that, it's still bullish on MACD. Money flow is still strong to be around 92, which is a very good one. This profit taking might not last, but that's why. But as far as above the T line, you don't need to panic, especially if you expect that there are some factors or some forces or that will drive this price up, especially as all eyes on what on your cap, audited result that will come as early filer in February, first week of February. For that, say all the recording here. I say thank you for your time. See you tomorrow again. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.